here we go again, one more episode about soccer and anything related to soccer. And today I'm very excited for the opportunity to have here a Brazilian guy, Fred Falconi, a guy that has a lot of expertise, experience, and background in soccer, and also, you know, some new tools like AI and the ability to have these numbers, to get these numbers, and to transfer these numbers is something useful for the coach, CEO, sport director. So whatever is the decision-making position, I think these numbers that you, Freddy, will help to, understand the meaning of these numbers. It's very important, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have you here. And so welcome. And I would like to ask you, please, first of all, to introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Thank you again. We were talking about this, so thank you for the opportunity. Like you said, my name is Fred Falconi, actually Frederico Falconi. I have a really strong background, but I was born in Brazil. So I have been coaching for 20 years, and the last maybe 6, 7, I worked as a coordinator, a methodology coordinator. I was in US in 2023 in Texas with the idea to build the methodology of the soccer center. And I work in Atlético Mineiro in Brazil as coordinator of the youth groups. I work in a club in Brazil, the name is Barra. It's connected to Hoffenheim with the same idea. And during this period, I had some insights that the amount of information and the flow of this information in a soccer club is really fast. Every single day is totally different. A lot of data, numbers, and situations that you have to deal with. And I start asking myself if we cannot develop or create a platform with this data and the information can communicate, and AI can help us to make decisions. So that was the first idea.
All right, Freddy. Nowadays with this AI situation, you have a lot of people saying a lot of things about, artificial intelligence. And I saw in your LinkedIn profile, I would like to share here just a little bit of your information, your LinkedIn profile. I can see here, the looks like a company here, AIX for soccer, right?
Yeah, AIX for soccer is the name of the company.
Okay, so and you say a little bit here about individual development plans in terms of growth, the athletes. There's another one here. I think it's very interesting.
É fundamental nesse processo.
Here, the future of football will not only be defined by the resource available. So you are talking about the information that AI will give it to you. And my question for you is, how did you develop this idea, or where it came from in terms of, a connection between AI data and a soccer club, a soccer environment, a youth development environment? How did you, had this idea in terms of this connection, AI and soccer, please?
I think, like you said, nowadays the way that we live is so fast, so we need to make decisions really, really quick, like soccer as well. So you need to find a solution that help you, because you have a lot of information around you. Okay, so if you look at this amount of information, you lose yourself. So AI can help you to look at the relevant information. So looking at the relevant information, maybe you spend less energy in that situation, and you can save energy for a lot of other things that you during your day or during the season you need to make the decision. I'll give you an example. Okay, you talk about the individual program. A lot of clubs around the world now, they are looking right to the player and trying to develop the player as fast as they can. So you can see around the world a lot of clubs starting the individual program, even in Brazil. Okay, so in the platform you can select the main objectives for that player based on the data that you collect, and the AI can show you or can give you some exercise, some suggestions of the exercise that gonna help him to develop or to get in a higher level. With this, for sure, is important the coaches and the staff to create their own exercise. But if you see examples, you can have better insights, or maybe you can see a really good exercise for that objective, and you can try on the field to do it. So that's the idea, to focus on relevant information and save energy for other things.
All right. So the way you're telling this information, I'm trying to figure out, like, let's say we have clubs with a very limited budget. You have clubs with a small budget, medium budget, and very high budgets, like let's say Arsenal from England, right? The idea you have, the tools you have, this company, how can you help us to figure out in terms of financial capabilities and use this tool? Like, must be some big club with big budget, or can you do this in a very limited budget? How do you split, not split, but how do you separate the tool and the financial capabilities for the clubs to use the tool? Can you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it was a really nice question. When we start the company and the idea, we thought that this solution right now is for this kind of club, the club that they don't have the budget, or they have a limitation for spending money during the season. Because if you have a platform and all the data and the information, they are connected, and the AI help you to make decisions and save energy, is for this kind of club. If you talk about really important clubs around the world, maybe this solution for now doesn't fit. But for academies, small and medium clubs that need to improve the process, improve the methodology, improve the staff, perfect. That's the idea.
Okay, and can you share some financial information, like, let's say, Igor, for this club, let's say their youth development area, they have, example, 200 kids. So for this club, they need around 5K or $5,000 or 5,000 reais. Can you share some information like that for people have an idea, like how much, if I want to use this in my, let's say, my small academy, I have 75 kids in a futsal academy. Maybe another guy has a little bit bigger academy with 200, 300 kids. can you share some information for us to have an idea in terms of financial, needs to start the program, to start the AI?
For sure. Just one really important thing, the platform, we can see the platform in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. So the language is not a problem. If you think that Portuguese, because I'm from Brazil, Spanish and English, the whole world can talk Spanish, or English is the most important language. What's the idea? Depends on the number of age groups you want to work with. Depends on the number of the players. I can give you an example. We have a club now in Brazil. Okay, we start next week, and we work with them with 4 age groups. Okay, 150 players. So for this kind of club, we have a price. What's the idea of the platform? You can pay monthly for a year, and you can use the platform. And after that, for example, if you don't want to continue, the data, it's yours. Okay, you can access this data whatever you want. I'll talk now in reais in Brazil. Okay, for this we are talking about 2,000 reais for 4 age groups and 150 players. So you can have an idea. If you think about 2,000 reais, $400 monthly, right?
Okay, yeah, it's much better when you bring the numbers, and I think it's much better for people to understand.
Just to add something, sorry, interrupt you. This we are talking about 150 players. Okay, if you talk about 300 players, I don't know, 400 players, for sure the price is higher. Depend on the number of the players.
Okay, it depends on the number of the players. Okay, all right. Freddy, with your background and your experience, we are living days that even European people are criticizing Brazil because we don't create the level of players that used to. I saw yesterday a very famous Portuguese player, soccer player, saying that Brazil is in the wrong direction. Brazil is in the wrong pathway. So you have a lot of experience, background, expertise, and also you have this AI company, this idea to connect information and help to make better decisions. How do you see Brazil right now in terms of the youth development? Like, it's we are in the wrong pathway. What's your opinion? Because now a lot of people are talking about it, and I don't know, maybe with your tools, with your AI tools, you have more or better information to have a decision, to have some kind of report. Hey, look, the numbers say this. So what can you tell us, in terms of this connection, the information you have, AI, and your experience? What can you tell us in terms of youth development in Brazil right now after the World Cup? What happened with Brazilian team?
I'll share my own experience as a methodology coordinator in clubs in Brazil. Okay, the clubs, they are struggling. If you talk about money, so everything that they do in a really fast way because they want to sell the player. So there is no time talking about methodology and talk about build up players. Can I say build players? Yeah. So build players, they are trying to do really fast because they want to sell the player. Okay. So during this period, it's missing a lot of important aspects for a soccer player. Okay. I think this is the most important thing now in Brazil. If you go for a meeting to discuss in a club, if you want to release the player or if you want to buy some player, most of the clubs, they don't look at the data. They look at subjective opinion that, oh, I think this player, or I think this player, and they start discussing about thinking, about my perception, because soccer has a problem. Not only soccer, team sports, they have a problem. It's so complex, a lot of interactions during the game. So people start looking at the exception and they start to fight for the exception. No, you have to do the right things. You have to use AI, use the data to increase the percentage of chance to do the right thing. Even if you do this, okay, there is a chance, 1%, that it can go wrong. And people start looking at this 1% in a subjective way. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. So that's the idea in Brazil, or the environment in Brazil right now. We have the culture here in Brazil that everybody knows about soccer because of our history and everything. So everybody wants to make decisions and to say that that's the path. Oh, no, you're going to the wrong way. So right now, you need to organize and clean the house. I can see this. I have studied a lot of federations and clubs around the world because I work as a coach education as well. And I went deep in the US soccer right now. And there are a lot of nice things they are building for since grassroots or key coaching points. We need to start doing this in Brazil in a different way.
Okay, I got you. Do you see, like, AI tools you have, the company, the ability to find and see numbers? Do you have the capability to use the tools you have, your company? Like, I'm a sport director in a club, and I want a new kid from a different club, so maybe I can use AI. I'm a sport director in a club, and I want to figure out how my U14 is developing. So I'm a sport director, and I want to take a look at another team, how they are playing, their concept, their identity. So different situations, but also I need information. So the tools you have, your company helps in the full aspect, in the whole directions, or just for specific, just for specific tasks?
This platform, this technology is worried about the development of the players of the club. Okay, not to recruit players outside for now. I'll give you an example. Okay, so for each position, we have some evaluation points. Like we said, if you go to a meeting and start to discuss if a player, if he's a good center back or not, people start saying about personal opinion. AI, when you select the behavior, the tactical behavior of the center back, the AI give you some questions to help you to be less subjective and more objective, and you build a report. So you can compare during the season the reports of the players in your academy or in your club. But we are not able for now to recruit players outside. I was clear?
Yeah, sure. I'm asking because, it's all over the place, AI data, and just, I think the main point for us is how to gather the information and have, something to create a pathway to have a decision. Like there's a famous guy here. He says, incorrect information leads you to incorrect decisions. So a lot of times you have information, but if you don't know how to read the information, process this information, and I think also very important, adapt the information to your context.
For sure, yeah.
And then, like, I don't know if you heard about it, but I saw on internet, maybe truth, maybe not, but I saw on internet that the Brazilian player that missed the penalty, the PK, he had 100%, perfect shots in penalty, in PK, and then in the first month you say, oh, that's very good, 100%. Yeah, but only 3 PKs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to understand your context and how to read the information. So do you have anything like this in your company, a kind of support for people to understand the information, not just to have it, but be able to read the information, you know what I
mean? Excellent. I think we are talking all the time about AI during this time, for sure. But for sure as well, AI, they won't sub our power of to make decisions. I can give you a lot of data and a lot of information. If you cannot read, analyze, process, and make decision, this information is not important for us. What the platform helps you is to connect the information in a visual way, a lot of reports, a lot of graphics, a lot of things that are going to help you to see. But the decision making is about your club, people that work there, and your expertise. And I think we will never sub this. I think this is our power as a humankind. Yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah. I think this is very interesting because, like, at least in Rio de Janeiro, I'm from Rio de Janeiro. Brazil is a continent.
Yeah.
But and I always heard in Rio, people call some place. How can I say this in English? Practice lion, or lions in the training, or anything like this. Is a guy that during the practice is a lion.
They are hungry for the training session.
Exactly, yeah? But when you go for the games, it's a different, it's a different mindset, it's a different behavior, it's a different, view of everything. So do you have any experience with your tool, with your AI? Like, my data shows me that this guy during practice is one guy, but during the game is a different guy. Do you have anything like this with your tools, the AI tools?
In the platform, we have the player structure, and we split in a lot of aspects. One of them is the mental aspect. So you can evaluate the mental aspect of the player. So with this, you can diagnose if he's strong mentally or not. Okay. After that, like we said, we need the professional, the psychologist, to do his job or her job. Okay. So the technology and the AI helps you to see the problem. But the solution, you need to bring somebody and connect with this player. We are talking about soccer and team sports. For sure, we need people helping players. Again, you can give information in a right way, really fast, but we need people as well. So this is really important because the platform connect with people.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah. Can you share or any information about, or did you have experience about youth development players that, let's say, their data is not so good, but the problem is they are very far behind in terms of maturation, you know. It's a big problem when you deal with kids, especially, you know, in the puberty window, 13, 14, 15. Some kids, sometimes they are 15 years old, but they look like 11, or
Yeah.
vice versa, you know what I mean? So do you have anything like this to help with the platform?
Yeah, the platform, the performance is structure, so we can put all the data and we can use some tests like strength, like speed. So we have the information during the season of the player, and we can get the conclusion if he's not mature right now, but in the cognitive structure, or he's really skillful. So we see the data, we make the decision, oh, let's wait, this player, he has some potential, maybe because of the physical aspects right now, his performance is not good. So again, we're gonna show to you the data, and you have to make the decision. Maybe the AI can show the probability of this player get the higher level. In the platform, you have like for a club or academy, connect the information. The platform will show you the top 5 players of your academy based on performance in games, training sessions, player structure, speed, strength. So going to show you all. These players are the top 5 of your club. So the information, they are connected.
All right. Okay. Thank you for the information. Do you have an experience like you use the AI tool to justify a release of a player? You know, I believe maybe, you know, you are a sport coordinator in a professional club in Brazil, and I believe, you know, if you want to release, let's say, 16 years old kids, 15 years old kids, maybe some people say, are you sure? Are you sure? So what can you tell us in terms of the AI tool to give you foundation, to give you sustainability in your decision to say, no, the numbers are very clear, you know, this kid, we have to release him, he's not performing. Do you have anything like this?
Not with AI for this conclusion. We have AI giving us report. Sorry, the AI gives us report about a lot of items, aspects. Okay, you have to connect and make the decision based on this. On the platform, we cannot like type a name of the player, and the platform gives you the probability to this player to be a soccer, be a professional player or not. But there are a lot of split information in different areas that can show you the probability to be a professional player.
Okay, all right. Fred, I would like to share something here in your profile. I ask you to explain a little bit, please. I think it would be awesome. You know, I read before, and I think it's a very interesting situation. You said something about, I didn't understand here, you say XG. What do you mean with XG?
It's the expectation of goals. If you look at scouting soccer, they measure the expectations of goals. Is the like the shot come from the diagonal or was inside the D? So there are more expectations of goals or less expectations of goals. in a really clear way is was the chance of a goal clear or not? Was this?
Okay. So the AI platform gives you data about it.
This platform?
Yeah.
No, not this information. That one was a post related that people need to, based on to increase or decrease the expectation of goals, plan the training sessions, plan the exercise. What the platform gives to you, the suggestion of exercise to increase this, but not to conclude the expectation of goals, but exercise to increase these expectations.
Okay. All right. And very interesting here. For people that wanna understand a little bit what's going on in terms of AI. And also here, I would like to ask you if you can explain a little bit to us a little bit about this. You said here that's why the most prepared clubs have increasingly invested in individual development plans. So now you have individual development coach, and many clubs are hiring coach to be like a personal coach for some players. Let's say number 9, a striker, or wingers, the number 7. So what do you mean with this? Transforming the growth of each athlete into a structured, monitored, and measurable process. This is a piece of the AI tool you have.
Yes. Like we said, we have the option to add the individual program. Okay.
Yeah.
Based on the tactical behaviors or the technique that the club wants to make this player better. We connect some data and exercise to do this in a faster way. That's the idea.
Okay. All right.
And I agree with you. Every single club around the world, they are looking to individual program right now, because we understood that the player is the center of the game. If you talk about buying and selling players, every club wants to sell player as fast as they can, so they are looking at the player all the time.
Yeah. Are you guys there in Brazil? The club, you are a sport coordinator. Are you guys doing this or planning to do this? Because I believe it's hard for a club because it's one more in the payroll, and once you have a club, it's a lot of things to pay, also taxes for everything. So, do you guys see these or there in Brazil in your club, the club you are working? Do you see this coming for you guys or not now? What's your opinion about it for the Brazilian reality? Because it's.
You are talking about individual program?
Yeah. Like having individual coach for 3, 4 players.
Yeah. Actually, I was in the club. I'm not in the club right now. I was like, I need to take some air. That's the reason I started developing other projects, and AIX for soccer is one of the projects. I'll give you a really important information from Brazil. Okay. If you see some clubs in Brazil, even the youth teams, the clubs, they make a huge mistake. They are worried about winning games. If you talk about U15 in Brazil, the director of the club or the club, they want to win the U15 championship. Okay. And they put the staff and the coach under press, because they say to the coach, if you want to win, you're going to be fired. You need to find another job. And the success is related about winning. And it's wrong, because we are talking about U15. Based on this information, what the coach start doing, if I don't win, I'm out. They're going to start training the team, and they are worried about just winning. So they kick the ball forward all the time. They don't care about developing players. So they build a strategy based on I want to win the next game. Now some clubs, they are looking a different way, and they are forcing the staff and the coaches. And no. Winning is not the purpose right now. We need to develop players and start hiring individual coaches and look at the player. The club that I was right now, we established a really, really nice individual program with KPIs, with tactical behaviors for each position, and the result was amazing. Because if you compare a U14 player when they get in the club, and after 6 months practicing individual program, for sure he in the future, 6 months after, he's much better than the past. So in Brazil, we have this problem. Everybody looks at winning in the youth teams. Big problem.
Yeah, it's I have some experience in different countries, and it's interesting. Like we are in a room with the AC on, everybody comfortable, talking about soccer, methodology, concept, ideas. Everything is very nice and beautiful. But when the game is on, the referee blows the whistle. It's completely different. And the experience I have, I saw a lot of pressure, for the coach. As you said, have to win. And on the other hand, I think, like, how can we figure out a way to make the coach's job tangible, however, not tangible because of the outcome of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest challenge. And I talk to people, every time I talk to people, I ask this, I say, man, how can you make this job tangible? How can you measure the job of the coach, the U14, without look for the game's outcome? So I think
that's one of the ideas of the platform. With a lot of report about the player, you can see if the player is getting better. If the player is getting better in a lot of different aspects, for sure, the job of the coach and the staff, they are doing a really good job because they are responsible for this. Yeah? So I think that's the challenge in Brazil and in some places around the world. Give time for the process, get data for the process to guide the right direction, because maybe I'm going in this direction and I need to change a little bit, and it's not a problem. And look at the player and how to make the player better. I think that's my view of soccer in talking about youth teams.
All right. Okay, Fred. My last question. The time is flying. It's almost 45 minutes of conversation already. I would like to ask my last question for you. Based on your experience and background, what can you tell me in terms of, let's say, if you could create something and become like a rule or a law or a direction for youth development in Brazil, if you could say, hey, this is, I think, the most important thing, what do you have in mind that you think that would be a game changer for the Brazilian youth development?
I think first of all, we need to know where we want to get. So we need benchmarks. So I want to go into that place. Okay, what's the reference of tactical behaviors, technical players? The clubs, they don't have benchmarks. They want to improve players. Okay, but no reference. They don't know what to do. So establish some benchmarks. After that, organize the process with KPIs to get these benchmarks. So if you're not getting or get close to this, it's easy to see based on data again, and to redirection, to give the right direction to the club, to the academy, whatever you are working. So people say, oh, we want to improve players, we want to sell players, but the clubs here, they don't have a culture. They don't have like what's the profile of the player that they want to develop. They don't know what the market. When I talk about benchmark, sorry, you need to look at the market and see what the market right now is looking for. It's the first step, and we don't have the clear vision about this.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah. So literally create already some data, and then you can compare something with something, right?
Yes, if you talk about benchmark and you have a process, for sure you are comparing where you want to be in 5 years. So you know what you need to do during this period to get that level. That's it.
Yeah, yes, that's looks like very simple, but it's also a big challenge. You have short term, medium term, long term development. With your kids. Yeah, okay. Fred, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you. It's 45 minutes like this. Boom. And I really enjoy. I recommend people to see your profile on LinkedIn. A lot of stuff about AI tools, data, information, KPI. So very nice. Congratulations for that. I think that's the direction. Like you or not, this is in here, and you have to figure out a way to use this in your favor. You know what I mean? To use this data. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and hopefully you can have another conversation in the near future. So thank you, Freddie.
Okay, thank you again. For me, it was the same. Time flies. It was really nice to share some perspective and view. I think we agreed in a lot of perception of soccer right now because of our background and how we see things. So yeah, for sure. Let's think about another meeting, and it's really nice to talk about soccer. So yeah, I'm open.
All right. Okay, thank you, Fred. Have a nice day. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.